Namaste. I am Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Carrie Krieger. It's Saturday, March 29th. This is a Save the Frogs South Asia Meetup. These take place the last Saturday of every month. And we have Suhas Premkumar here, wildlife filmmaker, who's going to be talking about his journey in wildlife filmmaking. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarbani from Save the Frogs India. But first, a reminder to everybody, the 17th annual Save the Frogs Day is coming up April 28th, 2025. Please take part if you know enough about frogs, and hopefully you do if you've been hanging out with us for long enough to organize a Save the Frogs Day event. Please do that and make sure you register your event. Go check out savethefrogs.com/day. And I'll turn it over to you, Sarbani.
Yes, so we are doing this from the last year, 2024, and we have a lot of speakers from India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. And they are really doing a great work to save the amphibians of the countries. So basically, this is a knowledge sharing platform or information or experience sharing platforms where we all get enriched with the vision and the perspective of people who are working with the amphibians. So why amphibians? Basically, amphibians to us will be the best person to talk about why amphibians, why not the other animals. Let me give a brief introduction of Suhas, and I'm really thrilled to have him with us as a speaker. He is from the foothills of the Western Ghats and currently settled in Bangalore. And he's an independent filmmaker, a photographer, and a naturalist. He's extremely passionate on natural history and wildlife, especially frogs. He is the founder and one of the directors of Myristica Ventures, a company named after the very special Myristica swamps of the Western Ghats. And we work on films, educational workshops, camps, training, and all related nature and wildlife. Uh, Today's session is a very special one since Suhas has filmed the frogs for 9 long years in the Western Ghats. And his documentary, Little Planet, A Tale of Frogs, is an insight into the world of some of the commonly found frogs of the Western Ghats of southern India. Commonly found or not, frogs are always a wonder to us. How they survive, how they thrive, and how they adapt with the changing environment since we are facing global warming everywhere. So how they're coping with the changing environment, it's always a wonder to us. So with this brief introduction, I would like to hand it over to Suhas, and we are thrilled to have him, and we are waiting eagerly to listen. Over to you, Suhas.
Yeah, thank you, Sarbani and Kerry. Thank you so much for being here, and it's an honor to talk here with whatever knowledge we've gained. It's just because of some field works what we have done, and it's just because of passion what we are here today, and nothing else. Um, so thanks to everyone who has given us a chance here to talk about our little planet, which is literally not a little planet. It's a huge planet by itself. So I don't want to waste time and talk about myself and what I do and everything. We'll just talk about the journey. So let me just take you through the presentation about our film, Little Planet. As Urbani mentioned, it is done over 9 years. To be more precise, around 10 and a half years, because the planning started much before that. So this is our official poster, which we designed. And thanks to the person who designed it, he sits in Dubai. And the whole idea of this poster was to tell people that the name is Little Planet, but the bullfrog is sitting right there, which is sitting on the mountains, which is not actually little. So that was the whole idea behind the whole concept of this poster, which is also the concept of the film as well. So the whole idea started long back. So before getting there, we'll start with the recent event which happened. So we did it. So 2nd of March 2025 was the exclusive premiere which happened here in Bangalore, Karnataka. And it was a great gathering of more than 1,000 people, probably the first gathering which I've known and learned that so many people gathering for frogs, 1,000+ people, and everybody was so excited, was so enthusiastic, and this is my proud team. So this is the team which worked day and night in the field, starting from Pradeep, who's been the kind of my left hand, right hand. He's been there any point of time in the field. And then it was Gopal Krishna, and then Shrikant, and then Naveen, Arvind, Anup, Ishanya, Suveen, and Girish. So everybody here whom you see, they're all passionate. The one thing which connected all of us was the passion for wildlife, and especially for these tiny ones, which are frogs. And we all wanted to do something on the frogs so that the whole world knows about frogs. So this is how it began. 2015, it all started. And we did make some news. We were on papers, we were on a lot of articles, we were all over in Kannada and English newspapers as well. So initially, we thought we'll do a film on snakes and frogs, but gradually the plan changed. I'll talk about that in a bit. So there were a lot of articles. This is the first team which was together, and nobody stayed, unfortunately. But one person, the second person, Sneha, she's still there with the team. And then why? It was, I'm talking about a decade ago, and conservation was needed 10 years back. And now we've gone 2 ahead of that. We are 10 years ahead of the plan. And back then in 2015, it was an emergency kind of a situation. It was a much needed kind of initiative, what the conservationists were talking about, researchers were talking about, that the frog population in Bangalore, in Karnataka, in Western Ghats was under decline. And now we read that more than 40 or 41% of whole amphibian population is under threat, and it is declining every day. So this was one major trigger which stuck my mind, and we started working on frogs alone. We left the snakes behind, because there are a lot of people who are working on snakes. Again, there are a lot of people who are showing snakes in a bigger than larger than life perspective. And let me not talk about tigers, let me not talk about elephants, let me not talk about leopards at all, because the whole world is behind them, and we are proud, we are ahead of them. So this is how it started. So it was one man's vision, figuring out what to do and how to go by the whole film. And then it was my very good friend called Raj Gore, who was a healthcare professional. He came and held our hands and said, Suhas, we are there with you. Don't worry, you please go ahead with your dream. And frogs need you at this point in time. And it was such a statement which was so inspiring, and we had nothing to look back for. So the first question which the whole project started was, why frogs? Will people watch frogs? Because it was an era where all the big animals were getting the attention. Because the word charisma, the charismatic, is something given to the larger picture, larger animals, all the megafauna. But frogs, we did not even get a chance to talk about frogs. We did not even get an opportunity to go and explain about how beautiful these frogs are. This was the first question which the whole project started with. And then how? Okay, now we have an idea. Okay, we want to shoot a film on frogs, but how? How are we going to do it? That was the biggest question. And then how easy was it? As we have been there day in and day out, now we know it is not easy, because frogs are such sensitive creatures. Any sudden movements around them will disturb them. And what we were intended to capture, it was impossible. So that itself was a challenge, and we wanted to take it up in the right spirits and make sure that we capture frogs in a way that it has not been captured before, at least from India. And then we needed a strong team, because I wanted to rephrase, we wanted a team. We had no team. It was only one person trying to do a movie, but we wanted a team first, and then probably this comes, we needed a strong team. So the scouting began, met a lot of people, spoke to them, but somewhere the idea was not connecting somewhere. Because when we say frogs, they say frogs. What is so special about them? Frogs, why frogs? Why don't you do a film on tigers? Why don't you do a film on birds? They are so colorful, they are so beautiful, they fly, they do that, they do this. So in the back of my mind, I was thinking even frogs do fly. No, frogs do fly, but not like birds. But yeah, so we wanted a team, and again, this question, same question arised. Again, will people watch frogs? So we continued with a very great task, a very great risk. What we thought that point of time, 10 years back, that showing frogs will definitely be not a no cakewalk, but it's going to be a huge risky walk. But still, we want to do it. And question 5, 6, and 7: locations, research, funds. So, okay, we want to do film on frogs. Me, myself being a naturalist, I knew a few locations, but the kind of concept what we had, 1 or 2 locations were not enough. So we wanted to check more locations. We wanted to meet more people, understand which frogs are found in which location, what time, what season. So all these things were there, a big question mark. And again, one last time we asked ourselves, again, will people watch frogs? So in that dilemma of shooting and starting this project, I think we met the right people. And I think meeting them was something kind of a game changer that we felt, yes, we have to do it. And going forward, next was, what do we have to do? How do we have to film? And then when do we have to stop filming? Because the sequences of frogs and the season, it's a non-stop sequence. It will keep going on and on. Every monsoon, every frog will do its activity. And what do we have to film was the point. And how do we have to connect to people? And how do we have to show to people so that whatever question marks we had, it will all be answered automatically, but not we trying to pressurize them to understand or connect them. And what is shooting? What is post-production? We had no idea about anything, because I've been a photographer myself, and I've got some recognitions from National Geographic in 2011, but filmmaking was a different business altogether, and I had no idea what to do. And then we decided we have to make people watch frogs. If not us, who else will? This was a challenge what we took it on ourselves, on our team. And then we decided, yes, we'll go ahead and we'll do it. And we'll make sure we'll make a film which will be, in a way, it will be presented in such a way, in such a package, that it will not look like they're watching frogs. It will not be less to any other bigger charismatic animal. And this will make people understand how charismatic are frogs. That's how it began. Finally, we started filming in 2016, post-monsoon. We were trying to figure out what was the right season to get the activity of certain frogs, let's say Malabar gliding frog in the Western Ghats. And we all started chasing monsoons so badly that we almost missed for the next 3 years because of COVID. We were planned, we were ready with everything. We had a little bit of funds with us. We had a team ready. We had to go. And one person was getting locked in Madhya Pradesh in Kanha National Park. He used to never come back here. Here I was here alone. Again, trying to pack all my luggage and all my camera gear and trying to go to the Western Ghats, but there were lockdowns. That was, again, a big challenge. A lot of hurdles. This is actually a shot when I met this person who came from Madhya Pradesh to meet me to shoot that season, but it all started with this. We had a lot of hurdles. The first thing was the safety of the team. We filmed across 9 monsoons. We went to 50 meters of sea level height, and we even went to Misa Pulimala, which is more than 1,500 to 2,000 meters above sea level. We went to all sorts of locations, and the safety of the team was my prime concern. Because when we'll be shooting, we'll be so much involved in what we are shooting and the behavior of frogs, and surroundings are supposed to be also taken care of. So our team members, Shrikant and Pradeep, they did a fantastic job by keeping an eye on the surroundings, and they're naturalists as well. So they knew what's happening around them. And the search was very, very painful, was testing our patience to the next level. And torrential rains. Rains were very difficult because to protect the camera gear was a problem. To protect ourselves was a problem. In the pouring rain, even if the frog is doing activity, there's no way we can shoot them. Umbrellas were just a namesake, and they were not doing their job. Starting from absolutely no rains till torrential rains, and also unforgiving terrains of trekking the Western Ghats. We've walked a lot of kilometers, maybe one trek or 25 kilometers, 30 kilometers in 1 day, 2 day, just to get one frog. We've done that. So When all these things were falling into place, the next challenge was funds. So this is the basic problem probably any filmmaker or a new filmmaker like me probably would get into. Even though I've helped other films, I've worked for different films, but me being the face of this film, trying to make this happen was very difficult. So then it was funds, and literally we went all in. Thanks to my wife, thanks to my parents, thanks to all my friends who have put all the money what they could, and they made it happen. And definitely the co-producer Raj who came in, and he was the responsible person who let us complete the film. So inspiration, this was the inspiration. Spending days with the loved ones. My wife would probably scold me for putting this slide here because she'll be missing it. And my loved ones, yes, she of course knows that nature comes first to me. And this was the best inspiration what me and my teammates could have. And there could be nothing else more inspiring than being there in the lap of nature and spending time observing frogs and doing their things, and we trying to capture what they are doing, their behavior, their activities. So day and night, 9 monsoons, we overcame all the hurdles. The filming began in the full swing. Then slowly we started capturing a lot of activity. So then we felt like, okay, things are kind of getting into place. We filmed in different habitats, starting from paddy fields, high elevated grasslands, streams, farmlands, canopies, but it was all about one subject and we had one vision in mind. And I'm really happy that the whole team, they also kind of connected to the vision what I had, and ultimately it was not one man's vision, it was everybody's vision, and they all made it happen. So these were our constant companion. A water bottle, anytime in the field, a laptop, my filming gear, and all the frogs with us. It was so fantastic that I'm just waiting for monsoon. Can't wait to get back to the field. And yeah, when it came to filming, it was actually not very easy to get down to their eye level and shoot frogs, because I don't believe in shooting frogs or any animal from a different perspective. We need to show what level of a perch or a stream they are located in. If a tree frog is sitting on a tree, it is always good to show from its eye level how does it look everything else. And if a frog is sitting in the stream, it's always advised, or it's always good to go to the frog's eye level and then shoot, because that is how the frog would perceive everything around it. So we had to make a lot of you know in Hindi, we call it as jugaad. That is an alternative for the mainstream equipment. We were not as rich as the people to get all the equipment ready and start filming. But we used to go and find a local carpenter, a local guy, and get all the things done and make sure that we go to the eye level. And by using all the minimum equipment in the field was something we were very much keen of, because rainforest is not something where you can get all your camera gear and get all the hi-fi studio lights and probably tie a canopy or a tent and then start filming, because that would definitely disturb the whole ecosystem and also the behavior of frogs. Because this whole film what we have filmed over 9 years talks about the behavior, and we are really proud that there have been a lot of activity and behavior which has been filmed the first time. We were shocked to know that few frogs does what they have done in the film, and we have captured them. So getting the minimum equipment, keeping the minimum equipment, and also making sure that there's only 3 people in the field any given point of time, irrespective of the torrential rains, irrespective of the darkness, irrespective of the kind of the canopy where we walk in. It was only 3 people, because we were very much concerned about the habitat where we are entering. We were very much concerned about not touching any frog any point of time, and we were very much careful about not disturbing their natural behavior, so that the moment you turn the light on, they will start behaving in a different way. But we were very careful, and we made sure that the frogs are not getting disturbed in any point of time, and they do normally about the things what they're doing. So this is something which I would love to talk about, shooting this magical movement. The wait was really worth it. When we were developing the story, we finally decided that, okay, there'll be a sequence on bullfrogs, because bullfrog is the biggest frog in Asia, and it needs the right attention. And we need to talk about them. And I have not seen many films on which this frog has been featured for a long duration. There are some films where it comes and goes for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or a minute. And also, we're proud to say that the frogs have been fillers in a lot of wildlife films which have been done here in India. And this film talks only about frogs. I really wanted to put a tiger as a filler, but uh, couldn't match the scene. But frogs, pulling them from fillers and making a mainstream movie on them is something which we really flaunt about. And this moment was about bullfrogs. And there's this man called Gopal Krishna who lives in Yalapur, the guy here in the brown shirt. I called him one day and I asked him, "Hey Gopal, I just saw your post on Facebook, and Gurraja KV sir, he uh, posted your video, which where a bullfrog, a yellow color bullfrog is croaking. Would it be possible that you can please show it to me the next time? Because this time I've lost it because I was locked down here. I was here in Bangalore and it was locked down. I literally had tears in my eyes. I had to leave 10 days back. And unfortunately, the day I was supposed to go, the previous date was announced that it was a lockdown. So I spoke to him and he said, okay, Suhas, we'll do it next year, no problem. And this man, he does a background check on me, making sure that I'm no threat to bullfrogs. So uh, he really won my heart because doing a background check on a human being for frogs is something which we would love because we're here to save frogs and we're here to talk about frogs. And he did this research for 2 years, and third year, finally, he shows it to me. And we were so lucky that we got it in the daytime. This photo is on a different event. There was a second time when we were seeing this bullfrogs mating ritual, the activity. And then finally, God's grace or probably everything, just the universe conspired to make it happen. It happened in the daytime, and we got some really wonderful footage. Probably the world has not seen in terms of bullfrogs. The whole activity, laying eggs, the fight, the male, female. It's we would love it, and so this is how it happened. And Gopal Krishna Hegde, he is a farmer and he's a small time businessman, and he works on frogs, and he's also discovered a few species of crabs around his house, new species of freshwater crabs. And now, thanks to bullfrogs and thanks to Guru sir, and now we have become good friends, and now a lot of things are coming up. And this is my proud team. Some photographs from the field. The one top is from Kudremuka Peak, and bottom one is from one of the streams from Sharavati. And here is Ishanya, and this is Pradeep, and Shrikant showing his back. So this is my wife with Pradeep. This is at Gopal Krishna's place. This was the day after we shot the bullfrogs. This was the day when we got the common Indian toads. They also turn bright yellow for their mating, and we were fortunate enough to get them as well the next day. So the bullfrog sequence was actually shot with a high temperature, and I was not feeling well, but bullfrogs was something which was more important than my fever. So we had to do it, and a little bit of drizzle also, nothing could stop us. Again, some photos from the field, all happy faces after successfully finding a beautiful frog and recording the call for the first time ever. And here it's Anoop. It's one shot, from the Aboli, was trying to shoot a frog and probably one iridescent snake as well. So this is how we shot in streams and pouring rains. It was me helping myself and the other person trying to take my photograph. So post shoot. This is for people who are into the field. I think this is nothing new for them. For people who have not been to the field, this is how it's going to be. If you want to find something, wow, you have to get down and get dirty, and it is all worth it. It is totally worth it. And some occupational hazards, some leech bites. It's just normal. So the first time people would be really paranoid about leeches. Trust me, after being with Western Ghats, after being with snakes, and after being with such mad people around me, such passionate guys, this really doesn't really affect us at all. So it's a part and parcel of our life. It goes really well. And the rewards, amazing food. So get back to your base, start eating food in the rain. Amazing food, all tasty stuff from the Malnad, from the Western Ghats, across, not from top to bottom. And then again, in the journey, we met a lot of wonderful people. The first slide is Mr. Uni Vijayan, sir. He's a national award-winning editor and director. He was generous enough to help us with his ideas about the film. And here we have Lakhan, and in the left bottom we have Ranjit Hadley, who's from Munnar, who was generous enough to show us the resplendent shrub frog, and with him we shot that. And it is Naveen here, who's been always been my companion for the long drives. And then here comes the Dr. Guraja KV sir. He was at his college giving me all the time to go through the film and doing a fact check on the film, making sure everything is just right. So finally it happened on the 2nd of March. It was a big day for all of us, a great gathering for about more than 1,000 people, and it was done. So now that the film was done, we started getting awards as well. We've submitted the film to a lot of film festivals. As of today, we've won 12 awards. A lot of them are in the pipeline, and we are pretty much confident about bagging a couple of more, all for frogs. And now that the project is done, it is not over. The responsibilities have actually got doubled. I would love to announce something called the Rally for Frogs, which is an initiative, which is this post-film project. Now that we've filmed the frogs for the past 9 years in the Western Ghats, going through all the pain, all those things, let's keep it aside. But what are we going to do with this going forward is something which will make a difference. So I'll quickly play this 90 seconds video and then explain what this Rally of Frogs is. Yeah. So that was about Rally for Frogs. So to tell you in detail what is this Rally for Frogs all about, we really want to take this film to everybody possible in the Western Ghats, because we feel that they are the people who are really the kind of I wouldn't say owners, but they live with them very closely, day in and day out. They see them. They get out of their house, they see frogs. They get out of their bathrooms, they see frogs. And during the monsoon, they see a lot of frogs. So we felt that if we make these people aware of these beautiful creatures around their houses, around their, the paddy fields, their plantations, they will definitely become the messengers, and they will start conserving frogs. Because for me, what I believe is that it will be very difficult for us to, create some awareness about anything which we don't have around us here in Bangalore and cities. So we thought we will take this film from the starting point of Western Ghats, which is in the Gujarat, the southern part of Gujarat, the Tapi River, Surat. From there, we will start driving down south. And for every 50 to 70 kilometers, we will stop and we will organize a screening, maybe at colleges, schools, and some local community organizations. And we will gather people and we will show the film to them and then talk about frogs and do something for their conservation in terms of giving them pamphlets, giving them stickers, giving them fridge magnets, giving them something with the frog. And seeing is believing is what we believe, that when they see something, a movie for 45 minutes, they would have already started getting a lot of questions. The curiosity is something that's already begun. So that will be the right time for us to tell the message about frogs, and also tell about the criticality of conserving frogs in today's generation, in today's era, and make them the ambassadors of frog conservation. So from there, we are doing it till the Kanyakumari, which is 1,600 kilometers. You take it in a straight line, but per our data, the map what we have made, it is going to take more than 6,500 kilometers. And we have planned to start this by the September of this year, 2025. So that is something we want to end this film with, because this is something which will not end. As far as we have frogs, our effort or the attempt to save them, conserve them will never stop. So having said this, I think my presentation is done now. So thank you so much. And I would definitely again believe that frogs made it happen. And I would want to thank everybody who joined me in this journey for a decade long duration. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Suhas. That was a really awesome presentation. Huge amount of work went into that. Something I forgot to say at the start is that a month or two ago, someone had sent me, or I saw it on social media somehow, the trailer for your film. And I
Okay.
get sent a lot of trailers or a lot of films about frogs, and they don't usually like catch my attention much. But yours, like, I immediately was like, whoa, this is like super awesome. So congratulations on that. And when I was watching your presentation, I was thinking that you could make an additional film all about the making of the film, because it was so interesting seeing all that went into that.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I don't know how much I don't like. I'm curious about the finances of it, and I don't want you to say anything if you don't want to talk about it. But like, how did you fund that? Did you have sponsors? And now that the film is made, what I assume you're like full in on it. What is from a if someone out there is curious about, like, I don't plan to become a filmmaker, but someone out there may. How does this all happen from a financial perspective?
Well, first of all, thanks, Gary. Thanks for liking the trailer. And I think which is why we are talking here today. It's all again frogs. It's nothing about me here. So how does all this happen? It's all for us. When we started this project, we wanted to make a difference, tell a story that normally, which is being ignored day in and day out. So the grass is green on the other side. It's always true that everybody says, okay, a filmmaker, oh, wildlife filmmaker, oh, Suhas is here in Sharavati today. He's going to Kudremukh tomorrow. He's going to Coorg the next day. Oh, he must be having a gala time. He must be having a wonderful time. Yes, I am. But it all comes with, conditions and limitations. So funding, how it happened initially when we started this project in 2015, we did a crowdfunding campaign through which we raised 1.5 lakhs in INR. And we realized within a month that it was not sufficient for 2 visits to the Ghats and back. So then we realized, okay, what have we done? We had no idea, because photography is something which is very easy. Just take one snap, one photograph, and you come back and it is done. But capturing sequences is something which takes a lot of time. You got to be in the field, got to be very persistent and never give up. So then we realized that the budget is something which we shouldn't calculate, but making sure that we have funds to travel to the Ghats and get the shooting going. Also, I had to pay my assistants, Pradeep and people who were there with me. Even they were leaving all their work and coming and helping us. So even they needed some support from my side. So we kind of the whole budget, if I want to talk about, after 2022-23, I think we stopped calculating because we got scared. It was going way too beyond than what we expected. And that is when we stopped calculating. And luckily we had Raj, and he was supporting us from all the angles to make sure that the film is getting completed. And the post-production is something which also took up a lot of funds, and we had no idea about that. So our friends helped us. My parents helped me by giving a lot of their savings. My wife Jansi, she helped me with her savings. My in-laws, they helped me with their savings. My friends helped me with their savings. So I put all my earnings to this, apart from all my rent and my vehicle EMI and all my other expenses what I have. Keeping this apart, everything else went to the frogs. Everything else went to the Western Ghats. So everything else went for the shooting. So this is how it all happened. But it was definitely not easy. If any new people who probably are aspiring to become filmmakers, it is not easy. Definitely, it is not difficult as well. So it's all about what are you trying to tell. So I don't know whether I want to call myself as a good storyteller. I am a storyteller. If it is liked by people, then I can become a good storyteller. But choose a concept. Either it should be new, or it should be very, very common. Show it in the new and different way. That is how things work. Because frogs, and whatever frogs we have filmed, there are only 4 to 5 species of frogs which are very rare. But other frogs are extremely common, what we would overlook every day and every night. That is what we would do in the Ghats. So then there is one frog called Rauchus tuberohumerus. It's called knob-handed bush frog, which is extremely common. And whatever we have shown in the film, which has not been captured at all so far. So that was a different style of storytelling and telling what people have not seen. But the moment they get to know it is right there in their fences, they'll be more interested. So that is what we believed in. And whenever we went ahead to capture stories, not many people know, or probably science also wouldn't know what happens there when we are out of the field. What we capture is only when we are there, when we are witnessing frog doing something, is something what we believe that it does. But there are a lot of things what it does when we're not there as well. So spending time, good amount of time in the field is something which probably gave us a lot of footages, which I would say, wow. So that is how it happened, and that is how it shaped to be.
How did you get an award from Cannes Film Festival? Or how do you even like submit? What's the process? They just have online applications, fill out a form, send us the link to your video, or what?
Yeah. So how it happens is that so film festivals, they are big platforms for any film festival who are trying to do something. It not necessarily it has to be wildlife. It can be a short movie. It can be anything. It's a movie. So film festival platforms, Film Freeway is something where we submit the films. Once we log into this filmfreeway.com, you can create your profile, you can upload your movie, and it is very confidential that only the respective people will get your movie and nobody else. Submit your movie and browse the film festivals. Whichever category your film is bidding to, you can just go ahead and apply. But there is again submission fees attached to every submission. So you choose which category you want to submit your film in. Let's say for the Cannes, I submitted for best wildlife and nature film, and they say it is best, and we won the award. So as in when you get awards, not all the festival will give you money. It's not financially rewarding, but the name what you get, the film where it gets placed in the global audience, there will be somebody who will be watching it, and I'm sure they'll come back to you. So don't run behind money for this. If you are planning to do something for a cause, if you're planning to do something to make fame or name with, let that come first, and the rest will definitely follow. And don't give up hopes. Keep trying. But again, for submission as well, you need a lot of money. So far we've spent again a lot of money on submission as well. So some more to come, some more to go. So it'll usually run for one whole year with a lot of film festivals. It's a 1-year circuit. So we started in February. So I think we'll be finishing it by Feb 2026. So until then, we would have submitted to all the respective festivals where we fit in, and we'll wait for the results.
There is one person, Sandeep Oli, who wants to ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And once again, thank you so much for organizing this such a beautiful and informative session. and especially thanks to Suhas sir for this informative session. So yeah, I gone through your experience sharing and your journey. I really appreciate from my bottom of my heart. I really appreciate your work. Really, it's quite hard to observe their behavior as a part of in real life in a natural habitat. So I also feel so much difficult as I'm just here is also Bisal Prasad Nipane and Basanta Subedi. We just all together went to field visit and collect data of herpetofauna, and it's quite hard to record their behavior. And a little bit earlier, you have already mentioned that it's hard to record their actual behavior, their actual story. Although we have seen lots of incident in natural behavior, but this all behavior we can't capture with your cameras, with your anything. It's just a recording instrument. So my question is that uh, although herpetofauna are so much sensitive as well, and how can you manage, even if we approach their closely, they will behave differently, and when we just capture their pictures, either they just flip away, just jump away, we can't even spot there as well. So we have lots of experience on this. So I want to know a little bit more about, so if you want to, if you like to explain a little bit more about, they are so sensitive, so how can you manage? So just
Okay, Sandeep, right?
Yes, sir. So,
Yeah, Sandeep, you're actually asking my trade secret. You want me to tell it to you right now?
yes, I'm desperately I'm seeking for this one.
Well, see, one thing I think which we had the advantage at was we are all naturalists, and I've been a naturalist for almost 20 years, and we keep going to forests. And see, for us, observation is virtue. We keep observing, irrespective of what animal it is. It might be a millipede, it might be a centipede, or even a spittlebug, or even some bird or mammal or anything. So when you, for example, when we decided that we have to make a film on frogs, and of course, you'll not believe that it has been almost 7 to 8 years since I went for a safari. No, I've been observing frogs all the time. That gave us a very good insight. So, what is the good working distance you can always shoot frogs with? That is the key. So, and what is the lenses you can use? So, for bullfrogs, I'll tell you, we used a 200 600 lens from Sony, because it was not very easy to get close to them, because first thing, we didn't want to disturb them no matter what, just for the sake of a footage or a sequence. We didn't want to disturb their natural behavior, and that is mating. And bullfrogs, they're so sensitive, they mate 1 or 2 days or 3 days in a year. And if our presence is troubling them or stopping them from doing what they are doing, there is no point of us doing a film and trying to tell the whole world that we are doing conservation. So that was something where we differed. And we wanted to make sure that we stay in a good, safe working distance, making sure that our presence is not fried by them. And then we shoot everything from a good distance. That is one thing. Second thing is observation. And one more thing, I'll let you out my trade secret, that whenever these frogs, they get busy with whatever they're doing, they will really not bother to some extent. But making sure that you or your team is sensible and sensitive enough to not, be very swift or move suddenly, take the branch where they're sitting, step in the water very swiftly. If you don't do all these things, they will still continue to do what they're doing. So again, your patience and team size is very, very important, because I mentioned already that it's only 3 people any point of time who are shooting the frogs. So not more than 3 people. But the team size is big. We have like 6, 7 people who are in the field, but any given point of time, only 3 people were there to help us out. So these are things you keep in mind. And also when you start observing frogs next time, observe. There are some things what they do. For example, a bullfrog, uh, if you're shooting, if you get very close, it will jump. Or any frog for that matter, it will jump when you get very close to it. So in that case, is that frog size okay for the lens what you're using? You want to switch to a macro lens, or can you do it with a big zoom lens, or what lens you want to use? And your team members placement as well makes a lot of difference, because normally when the frog is mating, let's say Malabar tree toad, when they're mating, they have to mate, because that is a very closed window what they have, very short window. In that duration, you have to make sure that you are sensible and sensitive enough not to get very close to them, disturbing them. Let them do what they're doing. And light is very, very important. So the cameras what we had were very sensitive cameras to light, Sony A7 S3 and Panasonic Lumix GH5S. So they perform really well in low light. So that did not let us use big or high beam of lights. So the big lights what we had was head torches. Apart from that, turn it off. The moment we start shooting, only the lights what we were using to focus on the frogs were on, our head torches were off. And also, maybe if you get a chance to watch a film, you'll see that you don't see any shadows of the frogs which are being shot, which you see on the screen, because making sure that the person who's holding light is holding it in such a way that it is not moving too much. If you move the light very swiftly, the frog will get disturbed. And also, first of all, I mean, this again contrary to what I'm telling, that the frogs are nocturnal, most of them. The moment you put light itself is a disturbance, but still doing that in a proportion and making sure that it is not disturbing it will serve the purpose. But trust me, if the frog is getting disturbed, it will not do anything what it is doing. It will just hold itself and just sit and do nothing. If it is doing, it means that it is fine and comfortable, but avoid handling of frogs. The moment you touch them, it will not call for a couple of minutes or maybe hours. If you probably catch a mating pair, put it in your hand and leave it, there might be some repercussions of what it might happen to them. You never know. So there are only few shots out of the whole film, 95% to 98% of films of the whole film, we have not touched any frog. Only 2 to 3% for some profile shots, we have picked up a frog and we've made sure that it is not being disturbed too much and place it in the place quickly and shoot it and leave it back within a minute or two. Do not again shoot a frog for a very, very long time. It will get disturbed. And also the light, what you're using, use a proper light. If you're using yellow light, if the heat is coming towards the frog from the light, it will get dehydrated. So you should know about your subject first, and then if you approach them with a very slow movement, I'm sure you can also do it.
Okay, thank you so much, Subhash sir, for just
Most welcome.
sharing your top most secret things. Okay, so
My
yes,
pleasure.
yes, I'm quite interested about this, and I have another one interesting question arises just in my mind, that you have already mentioned that you have used long lens, just a Sony 200 to 600 mm, and use a very low light camera which works good in low light. So in Sony, Panasonic, just like this. So basically, in my perspective, in my stand, so I'm a student, so not everyone afford that much of costly cameras and gadgets, lenses. You know better than me, yes. So my main point is that I own Canon 700D camera right now.
Okay.
And another thing is, one I would like to share that recently my own research note is just published on Indian bullfrog, just cannibalism and predation behavior recently. Yeah.
Very nice. Congrats to you on that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I would like to share one thing, that during recording the that incident, actually Asian house series just predate on Indian bullfrog, Optobatricus tigrinus. So during this time, I just went there and just used my own camera's inbuilt flash to capture the moment. And I own one prime lens, 50 mm prime lens, and I use aperture 1.8 to gain maximum aperture and to gain more and more light. And but in somehow it got a faded one. You already know that in 1.8 we can't get the quite right focus one pictures. So I just increased the aperture, and at that somehow I just manage somewhere between 5.6 to somewhere else. So my main point is that those gadgets matters in herpetofauna, just recording and documenting anything. So if we are just beginners on, so if you have any suggestions or any your experience on how we can begin through, if you have any top secrets on this, I would like to hear from you as well.
Well, there's nothing called as top secret about photography and recording, because camera is just a recording tool, irrespective of you use a camera or a mobile phone. If it is doing the right job at the right time, I think it is fine. So maybe, but even with the right equipment, if you use the wrong thing, it might not be able to give you results. Maybe that is what you did, because 1.8 lens, wide aperture, and using a flash for that, maybe that's why it wouldn't have worked. It would have probably blown out and would have got more of a white image. So sometimes when you're not sure of what to do, there is something called as auto. I think your camera has auto mode. Click using auto mode. Don't let the moment just pass away. That is one thing. And irrespective of the camera, if you're able to capture with the right settings, and if you ask me what is the right setting, so I think that will be a different session. I'll have to teach you photography for that and filmmaking for that. But if you shoot, the content is something which is very, very important. So sometimes you might have seen some footages which have been taken using a mobile phone. They've been bought by National Geographic, by BBC, because that kind of content has been shot using a mobile phone, which is not shot using a red camera or a ARRI or any other camera. But that is found and available only with that camera, which becomes very, very much valuable. So, and this film has not been shot by using any big camera like a broadcast camera or a big size red epic red dragon. No, even for us we have the most least priced cameras only, because as your problem was with the fonts, even we had the same problems when we couldn't get anybody else, or even me being a photographer myself, I did not have a camera. I used to use my friends' cameras to take photographs and just roam around the Ghats and stuff like that. But later on, when we started filming seriously, I took a loan and bought cameras. Raj helped us. We bought cameras. So that is how it happened. Collaboration can definitely help you if you can collaborate with the right people by telling them, if you tell them and explain them your vision, if they're able to understand if vision is right for them, they'll help you out. And please, you can do one more thing, that you have friends, ask them. I'm really happy that I have very good friends in terms of who have been giving me cameras from a very long time. I'm thankful to them, because that is what again taught me how to use a camera. And then also I have to thank Mr. Prashant Naik here. He also taught me so many things about formats, about how to shoot, what lighting, etc. So talk to people. That's how you get to know. And about camera, don't worry. There is nothing called as the best camera. There is nothing called as the camera. Every camera does a job, provided it is with the right person. So you be the right person.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing on this gadget
Most
session.
welcome.
Okay, so I have another question. You have
Hold
already
up,
mentioned
hold up. Wait,
one
let
thing.
me, sorry. We've got a bunch of questions, Sandeep. So let's
Yeah.
let's get some other questions first. And why don't I suggest, can you type your question in right now and then we can put it in the queue. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So Bishal wants to know, first off, let's get to this. Did you find any tribes or people consuming the bullfrogs?
Okay. There was a news when we were filming around that area. That was the place where the bullfrogs were being caught during their peak time and were being smuggled out of the state border and just to go to the other state. And it was a big news as well. And that is why the forest department people here have done a tremendous job during that time. There will be checkposts which checks every vehicle, irrespective of the wheels, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, five-wheeler. They check every vehicle inside out and then they let it go. But previously, until it became a news, it was a kind of delicacy, and people used to catch bullfrogs here and send it across the border, and they used to consume it there as a delicacy. So it used to happen. But now there's no news of that happening from the past couple of years. I think after we started filming from 5, 6 years, 7 years, we've not got any news of that, and we can be glad about that.
All right, that's good news. Now, the
Yep.
next question from Bishal, and I'm sure everyone wants to know, is where can they see the movie, the full movie? And I'm going to add on a couple parts to that.
So
I know that the trailer is available, so I'm hoping you can chat in the trailer URL. I'm also curious if there's a website dedicated to the movie, and
yeah,
how can people find the schedule? I know you're giving screenings, and we're hoping to hold one for a Save the Frogs event coming up. But tell us
great.
how people can actually see the
Hey,
footage.
Carrie, I just watched the trailer. I got it on. I just watched it. It's on.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay, good. All right. We've got the
Thank you, sir.
littleplanetfilm. Good. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming much of the info is there. And then we got a YouTube link sent in right here. So people
Yeah.
check
The trailer
the
is right
trailer.
there.
But tell us about the schedule. I know it's not on YouTube. I'm assuming that's for a
Yeah.
strategic reason. So tell us, what is the overall schedule for the movie?
So as of now, the only screening which happened was here at Mahe campus, Bangalore, and that was a premiere. And we are open to do screenings for any private groups, colleges, institutions, or any groups like Say Frogs. We would love to. But the only thing is that now, as of now, we are not letting the movie out on any public platform. It will not be available for anybody and everybody on the public platform. But a personal screening, we'll probably would love to be there and do it and then come back. The reason being, most of the film festivals would not, especially there are some, for example, Jackson Wild or Wild Screens and even Indian National Awards, they would not want the film to be on a public platform when we are submitting it for film festivals. So this is what happens. So that is the reason that it wouldn't come out on any YouTube for sure. Another 1.5 years, I'm sure it will not come out on YouTube for sure. But also, we'll do the Rally for Frogs throughout the Western Ghats, and any request we get from any place, we would love to go there, provided the expenses are being covered and also some to put in a pocket and come back. We would be more than glad to, show the film to anybody.
Do you have any international plans as far as live showings?
No, I would love to, but no leads or no connections as such, but would love to do that. If the movie is not being stolen anywhere, I'm totally okay.
And what happens when you submit like something Cannes Film Festival? Do they just judge it, or are they actually showing the film anywhere?
Well, the Cannes Festival, which we got the best nature and wildlife film award just now, they are monthly competitions. They have a circuit from most probably April to April. So we won in February, the best wildlife nature film. There is a winner from January. There'll be a winner from 2024 December. So there'll be a lot of winners every month. So we will be competing against the same category winner, and then the final winner will be the whole film will be screened in the festival. It will go through a screening there. So for which they will again ask us and let us know if we win. Maybe they would call us, and we would have to go and receive the award and be there a part of the film festival and also do a screening for the whole crowd. That will happen.
All right. Let's see. Pulami in, I believe, Bangladesh is asking about dissections, but let's keep it on track about the films right now. I put in there. So Pulami, unless you're going to ask about the films, let's hold out on that. And you can clarify in the text chat. Basant, let's get you up here, and please keep your, I think everyone out there, I'll say a good skill, keep your questions concise and get to the point quickly. What is your question, Basant?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kerry, for giving me opportunity to speak out. And okay, I will directly go to my question. As you have mentioned that you have been shooting the film for 9 long years and received funding of around only 1 lakh INR at the initial stage. And the rest of the funding was managed through your savings, your wife's saving, help from your various friends, and other sources combined. During these 9 long years, was there ever a moment when you felt frustrated or thought about giving up or questioned yourself, wondering, what am I doing? Because 9 long years is indeed a very long time.
Yeah, true. So this is one of the questions which I keep getting often, not just because I'm talking about the film here. Otherwise, even in my personal life, a lot of people ask me, what are you doing for 9 years? What are you doing? For example, my parents didn't know that I'm working on this film. They think that, okay, he goes to forest, he takes people, he does some shoot and he'll do some camps, and that's all. So how many times did I feel like giving up? A lot of times. A lot of times felt like giving up. But whenever I used to feel like giving up, I just used to think, why did we start this in the first place? If it was that easy, there would have been 100 little planets by now. And trust me, this is the only little planet as of now. And if at all there's going to be a little planet too, it's going to be done by us only, for sure. This is not my overconfidence. This is my confidence. And now we know the team, and now we know the frogs. So a lot of times when we felt like we have to, this cannot move on. And when we met Raj Gore, when he came in and he stood as a great backbone and support, I was totally frustrated. I was down and felt, okay, there's no way to go because without money, what can you do? Tell me. We were trying to, we were facing problem in terms of, paying my house rent and my car EMI and all those loans and everything. Raj came in and he said, I told him the story and I told him my whole concept and vision. It connected to him very easily because he's also a wildlife enthusiast, and it connected with him. And he said, don't worry, Suhas, now that you have pushed as far as you could so far, and now it is my responsibility. Don't worry, I'll stand with you. So that is how the magic happened, and this is what happened. So yeah, it was a great journey. Of course, I know it is not easy to invest all your time for 9 years, almost a decade. I've put my 30% of my life on this one project, but trust me, we are very happy, and we would look back and smile, and we would want to do more movies like this.
I'll add in for everyone. The vast majority of projects that are extremely successful, there was a significant amount of hard work and dedication, and it's the perseverance that is most likely to result in success, and what separates you, hopefully you, from everyone else is you got to keep on going. So make sure you choose something that you are extremely passionate about so that you can get through the hard times, and make the most out of what you've got. If you don't have a good camera, then be really good with your bad camera. And by the time you're good enough to, we'll say, deserve a better camera, it'll hopefully come along. Make the most of what money you have for your project. And if you do a good job with that, then chances are, with some good planning and asking the right people and fundraising, a little bit of fundraising skills on top of doing a really good job with the money that you had, you'll get more to keep on going. All right, so with that, Sandeep.
Nirmal Manna. Nirmal Manna has raised his hand.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
hold out, Sandeep. Who has a hand up? Like Nirmal, is
Nirmal
that correct?
Manna. Yes,
Okay,
Nirmal
I
Manna.
can't see you, so go ahead and unmute yourself. You're being called.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening. Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah,
Nirmal.
actually, Actually, I hadn't raised my hand. It was like I just clicked that reaction, the clap reaction, like that.
Okay.
Never give up attitude. Yeah. Thank you.
So Suhas, it's a
Yeah.
brilliant presentation.
Thank you.
Inspiring. First of all, very inspiring. And most of the time, people like us who work in the field, we always face a problem. That's the financial problem. And I think I need to borrow your friends.
No way I'll give it to you. No way. We'll come together. Don't worry.
Sure. So basically, Shondeep Oli and Polomi Mumu, they have raised their hands. So Kerry, which one will go first?
Okay, all right.
You're
Can I go forward?
muted. Kerry,
Sure.
you are muted.
Okay. So my
Hi.
question is that as an undergraduate student, we had a dissection of a frog in our practical lab, 4 classes, but I noticed that so many samples are lacking while we are dissecting it in the frogs, but that's why we had to buy it. But as a result, they are dead. They are not alive. But my question is that how can we save that species? And you can say a frog like that.
Can you repeat the question?
My question is that how
She
can
wants
we
to know that her lab is using frogs to know the physiology of the frogs by dissecting them, and the frogs are dead. So how can they save the frogs?
How can you stop
How
the
can they-
dissections from taking place?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that the question? How can you prevent the school from doing the dissections?
Dissects. Yeah, that's my point, and also collecting the samples, but they are not that one, but they are alive. That's
Are you
why
saying that
how
the
we can.
students have to go out and catch frogs?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. My highest suggestion would be to go to Save the Frogs Academy, savethefrogs.com/academy. And in there, it may even be elsewhere. I'll look in a second and get you a URL. But we have a hour-long video featuring Nicole Green of Animal Learn, whose job is to reduce dissections in schools. And she gave a full hour discussion all about the options that you have to reduce dissections. And it would start with educating the professors there and asking why it's determining, is it necessary? Because maybe it is necessary for people with that major to know that skill, but oftentimes it usually isn't. Like, does the average biologist in school need to know what the inside of a frog looks like? No, because they're not going to be working with that. And if so, can they use alternatives to actual live frogs? If they're using dead frogs, I don't know. It's kind of hard to find a dead frog out in the wild, so I doubt they're using dead frogs. But the first thing is, do they need to be doing it? Second thing is, are there alternatives? Alternatives include like plastic models of frogs, virtual dissection apps and software. So that's what I would do. So meanwhile, while we get, I think, Sandeep up here, maybe the last question. If anyone has a question, you should let us know immediately because we're going to be bringing this thing to a close very shortly. But while Sandeep asks his question, if he still has one, then I'm going to go find that URL for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr.
And
Carey.
And remember,
thing, I
Sandeep,
just want to,
yes.
I just want to, tell that if you have any questions in mind, please mail me. I can send it to Suhas.
Yeah. All right, Sandeep, keep it concise.
Okay, thank you so much. And on last time, say I would like to thanks to Suhas sir and want to say sorry as well, because if I'm interested and desperate to anything else, so I'm quite annoying in this topic. So I want to go deeper and deeper. So this our session is regarding to filmmaking document and your experience as well. So one last question. I have lots of questions,
Sure.
but later on I will ask you. I will like to sum up this time, so I will connect you in Insta and email as well. So, but one
Sandeep,
question is that, yes.
Sandeep, hold up. You have awesome questions, but it's taking you 45 seconds to get to the question. So
Okay, thank you so
remember,
much.
concise means
No
like,
problem.
boom, here's my question.
Okay. Okay, for
He's
long I will connect
overwhelmed.
to okay. So my
Yeah.
main question is that so you have already mentioned that you have documented the full behavior video of bullfrogs, just like mating and laying eggs, fighting, many more. So I want to know exact thing that either you make a previous any plan or draft to making this this is my main goal, and during field visit or during documentation I will record this, or either you make any just record whatever you got, whatever you see there is their natural behavior, and later on you just compile their video clip and thought that, oh, this could be a better one. So either you make this one after the recording clip, or you already make any plan and you make any draft, and this way I will record video, and this way I will make what documentation. So I just want to know this much.
Okay. So yeah, that's a beautiful question actually. It's not just talking about frogs and also talking about the whole process of filmmaking, wildlife filmmaking. So normally wildlife films are made with scripts. So the scripts are made ready, and then they go by, they know what exactly they have to shoot, right? So sometimes what happens is that they just go randomly, they know which animal they have to shoot. So let's say I want to shoot tiger. In tiger, I want to shoot a tiger hunting sequence. So this I know. But how do you place that in the film? That is a different story. Okay, let's not get there. But what we did was, when we named the film Little Planet, we were sure it's about frogs for sure. no other changes. And we also wanted to make sure that Bullfrog will have a very lead role in the film. I'm making Bullfrog as the protagonist or probably a hero of a film, and he's going to be the head turner for the whole film. So he's going to start the film, he's going to end the film. So we knew it. So for that, what is it that we need to capture of Bullfrog, which will make people very interested to watch it? But I did not tell that I've captured everything of bullfrogs. We've captured few behavior of bullfrog in 2-3 days, but capturing everything of bullfrog is virtually impossible. So we captured the mating ritual, mating behavior, the mating activity, and some other activity here and there connected to that mating behavior we could capture. So in bullfrogs, what we thought would be very fascinating to capture, which is a very rare event, is the bullfrog changing the color from drab brown, brownish, greenish to the bright yellow. So that was a very wonderful natural history moment where people would not believe the eyes. The same frog, is it changing color, becoming yellow? Is it the same frog? That is the question what we want to know, want people to raise, and that's what we worked on. So one thing also keep it in mind that a frog just which is sitting and doing nothing will be very boring compared to a frog which is sitting and croaking, because that is what people perceive and that is what people feel good about. If it is just sitting and doing nothing, even for example, tiger, a sitting tiger will not be loved by a lot of people than a tiger which is walking or yawning, doing something, some activity is always which makes a difference. So, and what is that activity? What we have to make sure that will add a lot of value in terms of rarity, in terms of, people will know that, okay, this group has put in a lot of effort. They've actually spent so much of time in the field. They have waited for so many years to capture this particular natural history epic moment through this particular sequence. So that is why we captured Bullfrog. So Bullfrog, if you want to say a story of Bullfrog, what is the best things what you can show to people and make sure that he is the main part in your film? That is how we thought and that is how we decided. And other frogs also, they also do a lot of activity. They have their own roles, but Bullfrog took the major share because it is a wow moment, although being very, very common. Not many people have seen it around their houses as well. That was a key thing what we kept in mind and doing. Yeah.
All right, thank you. We're gonna have one last question, and I'm gonna give you like 60 seconds to answer because we do need to go in like 3 minutes. All right.
Sure.
And thank you for hanging around. It's we don't want to keep you here forever, but it is good when we get a lot of questions. Debangshu Halder says, I don't know if this is a question, but I have a question regarding pursuing a career in filmmaking along with your formal education in a STEM field. Debangshu, that is not really a question. So if you're out there, can you very briefly state your actual question?
Yes, sir, I'm here and I'm presenting to you in a very brief way. Good evening, sir, and everyone present here. I'm going to explain my situation very quickly. I wanted to pursue a career in filmmaking, but I wasn't able to do it because of my financial and family constraints. So now I plan to do my engineering and save some money. And after a few, let's say 10 to 15 years, I want to switch careers and start my new career in filmmaking. So is my strategy good? I'm just asking your opinion.
Whatever you do, which you feel is good for you, it is always good for you. So switching career, let me honestly tell you what I've done. I'm a journalism graduate, 2006 pass out. I got into an IT company, started working there, worked for almost a decade, quit jobs, got into photography, then naturalist, filmmaking. So I don't have a formal degree in filmmaking, but I recently did my filmmaking degree from QI London, but it was a course in Bangalore. I spent 1 year, got a formal education in filmmaking. But trust me, if filmmaking is not something which you have to get a degree in and pursue your career with. Tomorrow you can make a nice film just by having some information, knowledge, and being with the right people and try to understand and learn things, and you can do film on your own. But whatever degree I did from this college, not to put anybody down here, but it did not help me in any way to do this film. But the people who were a part of the college, they did. Uni Vijay sir, he helped me, gave me a lot of inputs. So a certificate would not probably get your career, but your skills definitely will. So that is what I would tell you. And if you are trying to postpone your dream, postpone your passion for the next 15 years, that is the wrong thing. Start doing it right away. Make some time, because you being a filmmaker will not cost you anything. You can start writing your scripts right now. You'll just need a pen and a paper and a book. That's all. That will not cost you much than like $50, in India. So start doing that. Start shooting with your mobile phone. Don't think that I need to get a camera, I need to get the ARRI red. Get out of the thought. Beg, borrow, steal from your friends. Take a camera, get out in the field, start doing something. Shoot, work, practice, practice, practice. It will definitely take you a long way. Don't
Right,
wait for
thank
15
you.
years is too much to
Okay,
lose.
sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks,
most welcome.
Suhas.
So
I'll
how
also
long
add,
is
because
the
I have,
film? How long
I-
is the film, Suhas?
43 minutes.
43 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a
Nope.
very nice
Alright.
presentation. It's a very nice interactive session, and we are really glad to have you in this evening. Over to you,
My
Ken.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just have to add, don't wait 15 years, start right now. It doesn't have to be full time, but it better be part of the time, because
Yes.
15 years from now, you won't even remember that you used to want to be a filmmaker if you put it off for 15 years. So get started, even if it's just part time. And I say that because I do have an engineering degree and I did switch, but I didn't wait 15 years. All right.
Yeah.
There's
But
more
there
questions.
are
We don't.
courses. But yeah, I would like to add a few more points because my husband is a filmmaking uh, uh, faculty in Technical University. So basically, there are courses which will help you to learn things in a proper way. Then it's your skill that how you develop and improvise. The first thing is like if you have the financial stability right now, you can do a few courses and then you can be on your track, and then you can fulfill your dream.
And
That's
you
my
can
suggestion.
volunteer too. So get in touch with
Yes.
filmmakers, follow them into the field, and help out for free, probably if you need to. If you can get paid, great. But if not, go out there and get some skill, and then you will be able to get paid later on. All right, we have more
Yeah.
questions, but everyone out there, we don't have time. So go, as I said, savethefrogs.com/discord, DISCORD. Even if you don't use Discord, go get it. It's good. And it's easy to use, and you can keep in touch with all of us and ask questions there. So a huge thank you to Suhas. Everyone go check out his website and go watch that trailer. And hopefully Save the Frogs will host an event that may likely be in Calcutta, and everyone would be invited to come to Calcutta. TheLittlePlanetFilm.com. Thanks to Sarbani for setting this up. Our next event for Save the Frog South Asia Meetups is April 26th. Come on back. And remember, the 17th annual Save the Frogs Day is April 28th. Please organize an event, register it. Go check out savethefrogs.com/day. That's all I have to say. You have anything, Sarbani?
No, I'm done.
All right. A huge thank you to everyone. Come on back next month. Mark your calendar.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a great day.